Ah yes, the Steve Jobs theory about wearing the same attire every day to save on decisions. Kind of like you and your uniform, wouldn't you say, Butler?
Welcome, dear guests, to Exploring Ego-Depletion with Chris Voss on the Huberman Lab podcast. Today, your host, Enzo's Butler, unveils an English lesson rich in captivating vocabulary and phrases. Dive into an essay filled with words like dopamine, fatigue, and immerse. Marvel at the world of phrasal verbs such as used up and wore out, and delight in idioms like hitting the nail on the head. After imbibing this knowledge, we'll test our comprehension and strengthen our grasp with exercises. Ready yourselves for a vibrant linguistic journey, for knowledge is the most elegant attire.
Enzo sits in the plush study of his luxurious mansion, facing a large mahogany desk. On the other side of the desk stands his faithful butler, ready to engage in a profound discussion. A chessboard with a half-played game rests between them. The golden hue of the setting sun penetrates through the tall windows, giving the room an ethereal ambiance.
Butler, I've been reading some pieces on dopamine and motivation, but there's something I haven't straightened out yet. The term ego-depletion. Are you familiar with it?
Sir, I thought you might ask about this concept. Ego-depletion is indeed a fascinating term. Some say it's somewhat like decision fatigue, yet distinct in its own right.
Ah yes, the Steve Jobs theory about wearing the same attire every day to save on decisions. Kind of like you and your uniform, wouldn't you say, Butler?
Sir, I've heard many mention that idea. But while decision fatigue is about being worn out from making too many decisions, ego-depletion is a slightly different beast. It deals with defending one's position or opinion so vehemently that one eventually runs out of steam.
Like going into a battle and using up all your energy reserves.
Exactly, sir. To clarify the concept, our brain produces dopamine which, among other roles, drives our goal-directed behavior tied to our sense of self. When we constantly defend our position or insist on being right, that dopamine gets depleted. It's as if we're draining our own reserves.
So it's like when I'm in those prolonged business negotiations. By the end, even if I come out on top, I feel exhausted. I've thought about ending the discussion early just to avoid that fatigue.
Exactly, sir. It's similar to how one might feel after a conversation that stretches from the afternoon into the early hours of the morning. It's not pleasant, and often, it's counterproductive. It's better to call it a day at a reasonable time, rest, and then proceed with renewed energy the next day.
I've been in such situations before. I recall someone advising me never to go to bed angry. However, heeding that advice felt like trying to untangle a knotted rope all night. By morning, everything seemed different.
It reminds me of the age-old advice, sir, cool your heels. Sometimes, taking a pause can work wonders. Instead of wrestling with the problem all night, it's often better to sleep on it. The solution might just come to you the next morning.
It's interesting, Butler. I've noticed that when I push too hard during negotiations, the deals don't stick. If I wear someone out, they just come back recharged after some rest. Their ego recovers, and they backtrack on the agreement.
You're spot on, sir. Ego depletion is a temporary state. If you secure a business deal by merely exhausting the ego of your counterpart, once they recover, they might feel differently. It's a bit like life being a mixed bag. Some moments are sweet, while others can be bitter. If you clinch a deal based on the depleted state, it might not stand up later.
It's a double-edged sword, isn't it? I secure the deal, but no one is content in the end. The agreement exists, but its spirit is missing.
Very well said, sir. This is why, for instance, in hostage situations, wearing down the culprits might work if they're confined in a bank, but not if they're at an undisclosed location. In the latter scenario, the dynamics shift entirely.
So it's imperative to recognize this and not base crucial decisions on fleeting states.
Absolutely, sir. You've hit the nail on the head.
Thank you, Butler. Your insights always bring clarity. Now, shall we continue our game of chess and see who becomes ego-depleted first?
As you wish, sir. May the best strategist prevail.
As they immerse themselves in the game, the golden hue of the room deepens, mirroring the profound depth of their conversation.
Comprehension questions. Question number 1. According to the conversation, in what situations might wearing down culprits work? Question number 2. How does Enzo feel about securing deals through ego depletion? Question number 3. How does ego depletion affect our goal-directed behavior? Question number 4. How does ego depletion impact the success of business deals? Vocabulary multi-choice. In the business, what? The market fluctuation resulted in a significant decrease in profits. A. World. B. Scenario. C. Hue. D. Mansion. E. Sector. The team decided to what? Themselves in the latest market research to gain a competitive edge. A. Dopamine. B. Involve. C. Immerse. D. Plush. E. Educate. Finding a solution to the complex problem felt like trying to unravel what? A. Hostage situation. B. Tangled rope. C. Knotted rope. D. Knotted knot. E. Ego depletion. The anticipation of closing a major deal released a surge of what? Boosting their motivation. A. Adrenaline. B. Anticipation. C. Dopamine. D. Productive. E. Decision fatigue. Phrasal verbs multi-choice. After a long vacation, Enzo, what? With fresh ideas. A. Was back. B. Came up. C. Stand up. D. Straighten out. E. Came back. Butler, we need to what? Our company policies. A. Straighten over. B. Set out. C. Straighten out. D. Used up. E. Came back. The demanding workload, what? Enzo by the end of the day. A. Come out. B. Wiped out. C. Wore out. D. Used up. E. Wore her. Gary, what? The decision of whether to expand his business internationally. A. Wrestled in. B. Wrestled with. C. Ran out of. D. Wore down. E. Faced with. Idioms and phrases. Definition: a combination of positive and negative aspects. A. Clinch a deal. B. Decision fatigue. C. May the best man win. D. A mixed bag. Definition: to stop working or trying to achieve something for the rest of the day. A. Hit the nail on the head. B. Call it a day. C. Cool your heels. D. May the best man win. Definition: to successfully secure an agreement. A. Decision fatigue. B. Run out of steam. C. Clinch a deal. D. A mixed bag. Definition: to wait patiently. A. Hit the nail on the head. B. Run out of steam. C. Decision fatigue. D. Cool your heels. Definition: being worn out from making too many decisions. A. A mixed bag. B. Clinch a deal. C. Decision fatigue. D. Run out of steam.
I express my utmost gratitude for your attentive ear. If you enjoyed this lesson, kindly subscribe and share it with your friends. Should you seek further enlightenment in the intricacies of the English language, I do cordially invite you to pay a visit to Enzo's Butler.club and join our growing community of English enthusiasts. I am Enzo's Butler, always at your service.